not the same. But that's okay though. Vito.
Yeah. Big cool. We are not the same.
No, we not.
I'm on a different plane.
Altitude.
A place that's far away
Far away.
from all you other lanes.
Y'all just saying.
We are not the same.
No, we not.
I'm on a different plane.
Altitude.
A place that's far away
Far away.
from all you other lanes.
Vito the Don.
AV the Swan, AB the Realist,
Vito the Illest.
and we are
ABV,
Straight No Chaser, a real show
About real stuff.
for real folks.
Yeah.
Period.
Yo, we've done that good. Like,
Yeah,
we
you
got
think
no
you know the
retakes.
intro now?
I
You
do.
think you know the intro now? We be
do.
struggling. Period. So I'm glad you know the intro.
I've been through the intro.
All right. Hi guys. Hey
Hello.
y'all.
Buenos dias.
Man,
Well, it's nighttime.
can't believe this is the last episode of the season.
Yes, it is.
This is crazy. These seasons are fast.
Man, it's only 7 episodes. We need somebody to just come through with a nice little deal.
You know what I'm saying?
Boom. Then we
Little
just
contracty.
record. Yeah. We just record. They fly us to wherever their studio is.
What?
And we just record. And we tell them we a package deal.
Yeah, for sure. We have a media man.
Mike coming.
Mike with the plan.
We're like a Tribe Called Quest. Q-Tip, Five Dog,
Yeah.
and you gotta have your DJ.
We ain't got one of
Ali
those yet.
Jarobi, I believe. I think that's done. Hip hop enthusiasts, don't kill me. Sorry. But anyway, if it weren't Tribe Called Quest,
Oh, God.
who would you be? Would you be Q? I think you would be Q-Tip.
Why?
Because you would definitely be Q-Tip.
Why?
Producer. He was the producer. He made the beats. You know, he did a lot of the curation of.
Uh-huh.
Five Dog was just rapping.
Creativity, got it.
That's me. I'm just rapping. I'm like Wu-Tang Clan. If it was up to me, our content would not look good. We
It
just throw
works,
stuff
though.
up there. Well, we cell phone record.
Hell no. Hell
Screen
no.
record a FaceTime
Oh, my
conversation.
God, no.
Let's go.
God, no.
Content king.
We definitely put a lot of time into our brand. Praise God.
Cause I don't even put no time into my TikTok video. I just have a thought and I record it.
Nah.
Like, yeah, post it.
Nah,
Content is king.
whatever.
But I
Yeah.
appreciate your eye,
Thanks.
your aesthetic eye. It's,
I try.
It's tight.
I'm but a servant.
Let's talk about the shirt though, the sweatshirt. What's okay?
Jesus in therapy, it speaks for itself.
Jesus Christos and therapy. That's good.
El Jesus.
No L. Stop putting L in front of.
All right, listen. What's the right word? El Perfecto?
No. No.
Why is there no L? Ain't L
Because
like the?
when
Is that
you
the
say
article?
L or la, you are referring to like if you say like El Nino, like the boy.
So it's the article.
Yeah, like La Nina.
La Limonada.
Like you were basically saying like you're saying the perfect. Like the perfect what?
True. It's okay. Somebody knew what I was saying. Y'all knew what I meant.
Yeah.
El Perfecto.
Man, and shout out to my classmate, man. My classmate, painting and all that jazz for this
Yeah.
shirt, man. Protect
What that
black
say?
women. Protect black women.
Yeah.
Gotta protect black women.
Yeah, we need a lot of those shirts.
Yeah.
We need merch.
It's coming. We coming. That's what Coach Prime said. We coming. Man, today, heavy episode. We like giving y'all sequels.
Ending it with a bang.
And the reason why we like giving y'all sequels is because a lot of times it's just, you know, the 27 to 35 minutes that we talk about stuff just really isn't long enough.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like we want to give you quality.
For sure.
I mean, we could definitely sit here and talk for 2 hours, but I don't think that that's practical for the show we're really trying to curate.
Yeah.
You know, we want to lock you in, walk away, rewatch it, you know. And so
Yeah.
we bringing back Toxic Theology this time.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. There was much that we did not discuss on part 1. We know that. Let me be extra clear. There is not enough time There's just not enough time in no space to really get to the bottom of all. It's just not.
No. The thought that popped into my head was, I think that maybe we should just. I think every season we should have one episode that just kind of deals with something from a theological stance.
For sure.
I think if we, we say we want to be a real show about real stuff. I mean, I think that these are both spaces that we're in. And I believe that those, because honestly, if I remember the stats right, like, wasn't this like the most viewed episode?
It was.
So
y'all love that one. Church people so nosy. Y'all just want to see. Y'all just want to see what we saying.
They might really have gained some knowledge from it.
Prayerfully so. Prayerfully so. But people just be trying to see.
But we want to talk about the recovery. Tonight is about recovery.
Yeah, redemption.
Redemption, recovery. How do you move past the pain?
Man.
I know that for a fact that recovery phase is hard.
It's ugly.
Because at the end of the day, like, I think it was a comedian that said, if everybody's playing with the same tools, then somebody's going to come up with the same content, right? And when we think about church, there are some differences, right?
Yeah.
There's some differences, depending on the denomination that you are affiliated with, right? Like, in our context, it's typically, a cappella worship heavy, by and large.
Typically.
Which that's changing. It's kind of funny that I heard a statistic today, and I got to look it up and see. But that, like, I think last year, like 60 to 70% of seminary grad students were women.
Look at that.
I was like,
Gee. Yeah.
I said, wait up.
Y'all pray for me, because I don't want to go to school. Can I just be honest about that? I don't want to go to seminary.
Why not?
I don't know. It don't have nothing to do with seminary itself or MD. Like, it's probably not that. It's probably just me in school, like,
School different for everybody, man.
School
I'm be honest,
really humbles me.
I couldn't imagine going to school at my big age. Like,
I be struggling. So there's so many people going back to school and master's program and I'm just like,
yeah.
School stressed me out. I was depressed when I was in college.
I finished my degree at 21, maybe 21, 22. I got back into school at 25.
20 what?
25.
Yeah.
I think I started chill on the Texas 20. I think I started, so I got married on a Saturday. My first assignment was due the day I got married.
Nah.
I started grad school the day of my wedding.
It's not that deep.
What you mean?
It's never that deep. It's my wedding. Hello?
Yeah, but it was cool. We gotta,
Nah.
Shout out to the graduate degrees, man.
Whatever. But that's another topic.
One thing I didn't learn how to do while I was in
Y'all pray
grad
for
school?
me.
I learned how to type with one hand while holding a child. Yeah, because when I was in grad school, Vinny was just born, and man, oh man, I used to have to hold him. I'd be typing
Sweet baby.
and holding him. And I learned how to type really fast with one hand.
Wow.
It's a little
Shout out
skill
to
that I
active
have.
dads.
Yeah, shout out to the active dads.
Active, educated dads.
I think Father's Day should be twice a year.
All right. Because I'm clearly outnumbered. Mike in the back, talk about.
It should be twice a year.
What's that meme? Yes.
We should get one in June and one 2 days after Christmas.
Whatever.
But listen,
Whatever.
but I think the hard part about it, like, well, let's get back to the point I was making. That, like, a lot, like, church is different for different, and, like, in the grand scheme of things, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I go to, if you come to Genesee Avenue and you've been worshiping at New Salem or you've been worshiping at Rhema Christian Center, like, it's gonna be different,
Yeah.
right? But there's gonna be a lot of similarities, and a lot of times as it pertains to the similarities, the rough part about church is the things that are triggering typically those triggers exist in other
Yeah.
spaces of worship.
Yeah. Wherever there's people, there's problems, for sure.
Okay, man, you dropping some cold one-liners today.
Wherever there's people, there's problems. There's
I need
that
another
we know
shirt.
that. For me, the biggest thing was not becoming who hurt me. Like for a long time, especially just me at my raw state. I'm an activist. I'm very much an educator by nature. I'm very much I want to make sure you get the point. I want to make sure you see, you know what I'm saying? And after being hurt in some very specific ways, my heart, there was just this consumption of like, like I was vengeful. Almost like rejoicing. Oh, that's a deep word to use here, but like at their downfall, if something unfortunate happened for them, or their ministry, or their personal lives, or it was just like, see, I told you she crazy. It was very, there was a consumption. It was very dark, very bitter. And I was just...
You were worshiping from an angry place.
Yeah, it was rough.
I know how that feels because when I first went through, my first termination, like, I preached from an angry place.
You said first, like you didn't have more than one.
My first and only. But I was fired, like, after prayer service. I was literally, I'm not lying to you.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not, it's
funny.
real.
That's not funny.
It's so real. And you talking about somebody that had I'm literally, like at that time, I'm literally like not making as much money as I could using my degrees.
Because I'm preaching.
Because because of this call, right? So I was like, man, this church, what, bro? We about to move. I'm about to be a Sunday school teacher and coach my kids and live my lovely Christian life with my wife and children and call it a day. Yeah. And the crazy thing about it was like, whenever I went through that, man, God is something else. So like, I literally was like trying to figure out how I was gonna explain to the elders that I had said yes to all of these preaching assignment dates. I had so much stuff lined up. Like I was doing one of my first homecomings. I was preaching worship on the Mount. I had some other engagements I was doing. Like I was like, man. So I was trying to figure out how I was, and that literally like kept a little bit of money in my pocket. So when we talk about how toxic theology can be a detriment, like it caused me and my family to have to live in a hotel. So it was rough for a little bit, but what I'm saying is I had to get to a place to where those triggers no longer impacted me because everybody's not the same. Ooh. So for instance, like annual reviews give me so much anxiety. Like not just on my, not just like.
Sorry.
What?
I didn't mean to cuss on this episode, but I'm connecting the dots because you said that.
Yeah, annual reviews are very triggering for me. Even in my job, that I do secularly, I mean, it was like exceeds all this stuff, right? But up until I got that review, I was like on pins and needles because I try to be so. I try to do the best I can. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I think not that. And you say never become what hurts you. That reminds me of something my mentor said. He said, one day we're going to be the old people. And I always like crack this joke. Like, I be thinking that my son and them are going to like be the generation that'll come to the elders and be like, hey, we need a hologram praise and worship team.
That's not too far-fetched.
It's not. Could you imagine that?
That's convenient. That's real convenient.
Just have a hologram with people on stage.
Have whoever you want.
Whoever you want. Yeah. Right? I could get Marvin Sapp,
oh my God,
Fred Hammond, Yolanda Adams, Maddie Moss, and let's see a wild card.
Yikes.
A wild card. I need a wild
These are
card.
old artists. They gonna be dead and gone by the time we get to
That's the cool thing about a hologram.
Oh, you want to? Okay.
That would be kind of creepy,
I was
though.
thinking people that were still alive and living, but just couldn't physically travel.
This episode is like going.
Okay. It's fine.
But yeah, we have to be mindful of that too, because the things that we're fighting for, the things that we're advocating for in religious spaces, that advocacy is going to look different
Yeah.
as the church, as we move through time,
Generations to come.
as generations to come.
Yeah. You're
Right?
right.
I can't imagine what church looks like when Azariah is 25. Like, I don't even want to think about, like, in 20 years, like, what? Just church as a whole.
I'm concerned.
Not only our context, but just church as a whole.
If I could be real about it, I'm concerned.
Well, there should be a concern. I mean, just at large. I mean, let's think about it. Like, there's some seminary programs that have taken, like, hiatuses. You know, a lot of these schools are not as enrolled.
Yep.
You know, there's the number of preachers that are actually coming out.
Yep.
Like, there's a shortage.
Yep. People tired.
There's a shortage, and not to mention the pandemic made things a lot shorter.
Yep.
You know, there's a shortage. It's a struggle, but I think that lets us know that, like, it's really not for us to really worry about, because, you know, God is who He is, right? And He's gonna take care of His church.
I think one of the most popular things that we hear, or general statements when people are talking about church or why they no longer go to church, is because they were hurt by somebody. There was someone who neglected them, misused, abused in some type of way. And what I had to learn, and it sounds so simple, but God is God. People are people. And even when people fail to represent God in all His perfection, that is not a reflection of Him, just who the people are. People, as imperfect beings, are never going to be able to properly reflect something that's perfect, a perfect being. So holding on to these things as I'm angry because this is my family. Y'all raised me, like, y'all have known me my entire life, and you treating me as if I'm a stranger, like totally hands off, almost very abusive, not really caring about me for real, and you saying it's for my good. It's crazy how we do things, how we justify things, but nevertheless, God is God, and people are people, and people are always going to be people.
And God is big.
But God is always going to be God.
He's bigger and He's greater than
For sure.
the pain you've experienced.
And the pain, y'all, sometimes the pain is a part of the plan. If I was not hurt in the way that I was, I would not have left. Had I not left, I would have never heard the call. The call was, you know what I'm saying? As I was birthed, there was the call.
But pain is
but
a part
I never
of purpose.
knew. I never knew for sure.
There is not a single story that we can read about biblically that doesn't have some
pain-free.
sort of pain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter the story.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, and I could go down the list and we could talk about this and all of these other things, but, like, if you really believe in the purpose of your calling, the purpose of your ministry, it's pain attached to it.
Yep.
It's toxic to think that pain won't be attached to it.
Man.
It's also toxic to think that just because they love you today, mean they love you tomorrow. And that's not to say that it's a sense of I don't want to scare anybody, but what I do want to say is that it's just a part of the equation.
It definitely comes with the territory.
But I think the big thing is that we got to prepare people for the imperfections of others. I was trying to find a way to say El Perfecto, but I couldn't figure
El
it out.
Perfecto.
Right. So people are, like, not perfect, right?
Right.
And so we have to prepare people for the mission. Yeah. We prepare people for other missions, man. And, like, I'm telling you, when it comes to ministry, when it comes to preaching, like, there is not a lot of, it's so similar to the way that we prepare people to teach in public school. It's frightening. Like, give the real.
Yeah.
Tell people the real.
Please.
And honestly, I don't want to say scare them. Don't scare them, because there are some negative people out there that will just tell you, oh, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a waste of time. You're going to be miserable. You got to deal with all these people. And, you know, people are, you know, don't do that. That's toxic too.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing is we got to start preparing people for ministry, man. It ain't always sweet.
How do you do that? What does that look like practically?
It is one-to-one.
I agree.
It's literally allowing the person to be a part of your ministry. It is allowing the person to spend time with you, understand you, understand the grand scheme. The grand scheme. And also, I want to put this out there too, that your greatest voice of reason as it pertains to ministry is not always going to be someone that is within the same theological context as you.
I'm glad you said that. I'm really glad you said that, because, you know, all the struggles that I'm currently navigating. And as a woman, it's draining to be a woman. But just, we have our world that we know, and we have our pocket of people that we know that we may see at a sing-along or at a conference, you know, annually or every couple years. And we begin to think that that's all the world is.
Nope.
Ministry is, I mean, so small on the scale, us. We are so small on the scale.
You know the mind-blowing thing that I learned early on? And I'm so glad I learned this early on, because there's a lot of my contemporaries that are extremely popular that I believe still haven't caught on to this, is the fact that you can be extremely successful without that.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, of course you wouldn't be taught that. You know what I mean? But
the one thing that I want to teach is that it's always backyard over brotherhood.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Your backyard got to come first. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're in a small town with 5,000 people and you got 60 people in your membership. It's got to be, those people got to come before the national attention.
I want us to, and I'm saying this to you as I'm learning it myself, but, you know, ministry and your effectiveness in your ministry, unfortunately, cannot be gauged or measured by the people you know. Absolutely. Are you reaching beyond these people? Are you saving people that are not saved? Like, we really be up in shambles and arguing with people that's supposed to be saved. Like, next, you know what I'm saying? Like fishers of men that ain't saved already.
The people you know should be a part of development.
Should be.
It should be development. The people that you like iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
So the people that you know should be a part of your developmental process,
Should
right?
be.
The people that you don't know should be a part of your evangelical process.
Yep.
That's different. The conversation is different. But what I want to encourage you to do is find resolve in some of the impactful women in ministry spaces. Find resolve in the history of that. That's what kept me going. What kept me going was looking at like the history of preachers and teachers that had been through something similar as me, or preachers and teachers that didn't have the formal pastoral education.
Yeah.
Because that's the difference for me. Like I have a lot of secular education, but I don't really have a lot of pastoral education.
See, I struggle there because, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, you should do all that you want, can to invest in self and to, structure your gift, develop your gift, all the things. But I guess I have a hard time saying out loud, and it's not popular, but you don't have to have it.
No. I'm not saying.
No, I'm not saying you're saying that, but I'm just saying I'm paying attention to the themes of things things that I'm seeing these days.
It's catch-22. Because there's some people that have it that think because they have it,
You know what I'm saying?
they're deserving of something. It's like, nah, bro, you really just not. It's just not your gift, dog. Like, the hospital needs chaplains.
You know what I mean?
The prison needs chaplains.
Everything ain't gotta look like you. Like
Everything got to look like Sunday morning.
yeah.
And that's why I'm thankful that ministry for me even started out. It started out in the outreach space. I wasn't even in the pulpit. I remember this lady used to make us sit on chlorine tablet buckets and do Bible study with her
that's right.
in the summertime
Yeah.
in hot Texas.
Yeah.
But that was the mindset that helped me build who I am. So like now, being in the community is not difficult for me.
And that's what we're supposed to be. If you're not careful, talking to myself, but those of you that think like me, if you're not careful, you'll feel like you're not doing anything because you're not in a church leadership capacity or so like ministry is like off the stage.
How often did Jesus like preach in front of crowds?
Right.
How often? It wasn't a lot. A lot of his stuff, like, he's healing people, feeding people, developmenting.
Service, yes.
Development of
literally
his
walking.
Apostles.
Yes.
Yeah, like a lot of it was very practical. And he was there in the gaps for a lot of people who were.
He was an advocate.
Yeah, he was an advocate. He was an activist. He stood in the gap for the widows and the orphans. And the poor, the poor people and the disabled and, all of the disenfranchised individuals that we read about in Scripture. And so, those are the people that we got to stand in the gap for.
Yeah.
So, I think the thing like is recovering from it. You definitely got to forgive. You definitely have to spend some time reflecting. What helped me was understanding that it wasn't one-sided.
Yeah, for sure.
And there were some things that I did too that I needed forgiveness for. And once I got to that place, it put me in a position of peace.
Yeah. A good gauge of healing is when you can be like, well, dang, I mean, you're right about that. You know what I mean? When you can take accountability in those ways. Absolutely not a victim in my situation. Absolutely not. But do I believe that it was handled properly? Absolutely not. So it's twofold. Some things absolutely should have been tweaked. But when you get to that place, I keep moving this table. When you get to that place, it's a good sign.
I like this episode because I felt like it was a little bit more transparent.
For sure.
It wasn't just like the nature of doctrine. It was more so what we've been through.
Yeah.
And how we've overcome toxic situations. That was dope. Good job. Yes, ma'am.
I had a thought I just lost it.
You lost it.
It left. That sucks. That sucks.
Gotta take some fish oil.
Oh. I don't know what I was gonna say.
You take fish oil in your mind, because you know how fishes, they get distracted real quick.
Fishes get
Fishes. Is that the plural fish?
fish.
We both tripping today. So your El Perfecto and my fishes?
El Perfecto fishes.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but fish, like, the fish oil, the omega-3s, it helps your brain.
Okay.
So you forgetting things at a young age. You was hot earlier.
Don't do me. Trying to run through all my ailments.
You didn't get you some blood work.
Don't do me.
You didn't get
You hot, you forgetful. I mean, I'm just saying. Don't do me. Please.
We'll add you to the sick and shut in list.
Please. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
We love y'all.
Peace.